Good morning, everyone. Let's have more energy for a new day with our speaking episode. Today, in part 1, we will practice conversation and noise topic. Then move to part 2 with text message. And finally, we will have some lesson with vocabulary and structure as normal. Now, let's begin. Part 1. Do you enjoy talking with your friends?
Yes, absolutely. I enjoy chatting with my friends. It helps me to relax, share ideas, and stay connected with them emotionally.
What do you usually talk about?
It really depends on the situation, but we often talk about daily life, personal experiences, future plans, and sometimes just gossip about somebody. If we're close friends, we also discuss more serious things like relationships or work stress.
Have the kind of conversation you have shared much?
Oh, yes, definitely. When I was younger, our conversations were mostly lighthearted and fun. Now, as we've grown older, we tend to talk more about responsibilities, careers, and future goals.
Do you like listening to your friends tell story?
I'm not really sure. My friends tend to tell stories in a funny and dramatic way. It's really entertaining sometimes. However, my friends don't always tell true stories. Most of the time, it's some overreacting over something very minor.
Noise. Do you live in a noisy area?
Yes, I do. I live in a fairly busy neighborhood, so there's often traffic noise, construction, and people talking outside. It can be distracting at times, especially when I'm trying to focus or rest.
How often do you overhear other people's conversations?
Quite often, honestly, especially when I'm in cafes, on public transport, or even at home if the neighbors are talking very loudly. Sometimes it's amusing, but other times it can feel a bit intrusive and overstimulating.
Would you like to live in a quieter place?
Oh, yes, for sure. I think living in a quieter environment helped me feel more relaxed and improve my focus. Peace and quiet are becoming more valuable to me as I get older.
Where are the noisiest places in your country?
I would say the noisiest places are usually in the city centers, like in Ho Chi Minh City. Places like street markets, main roads, bus stations, or near construction sites. These areas are constantly buzzing with activity and loud sounds.
Now, we move on to part 2 and here your topic. Describe an important text message you received. You should say who sent the message, what was in the message, why the person sent the message, and explain why the message was important to you. You have 2 minutes to talk about your topic. Your time starts now.
I would like to describe one important text message when I received that was from my university coordinator last year. It was during my final semester, and I was anxiously waiting to hear whether I'd passed all my courses or not, especially that one course I'd been struggling with. The message said something like, "Hi Kan, congratulations, you've passed all your units and are eligible to move on to your second year of the program." The message was short, but it meant the world to me at that moment. She sent it because I had previously emailed her expressing concern about one of my results, and she promised to update me as soon as the final grades were released. I didn't expect to hear so soon, so the message came as a surprise. The message was important to me because it marked the end of a long and challenging year since I first started university. It was a moment of relief, joy, and pride. It reminded me that all the hard work and sleepless nights had finally paid off.
Part 3. Why do some people dislike using text messages?
Some people dislike texting because it can feel impersonal, or time consuming. They might find it harder to express emotions or tone through written words, which can easily lead to misunderstandings. Older generations may also struggle with using mobile phones or prefer face to face or verbal communication.
Have the ways that people communicate with each other changed much in the last few decades?
Yes, I think so. Communication has changed drastically. In the past, people relied on letters, landline phones, or face to face interaction. Now, with smartphones and the internet, people can connect instantly through messaging apps, video calls, and social media. Communication has become faster, more convenient, and often less formal.
Do you think modern technology had any negative influence on communication?
Yes, in some ways. While technology has made communication easier, it has also reduced the depth and quality of conversations. People may rely too much on short messages and emojis instead of having meaningful discussions. It can also lead to social isolation if people prioritize online interaction over real life relationships.
What do you think are some of the main differences between written communication and spoken communication?
Written communication is usually more structured, formal, and allows more careful word choices. It's also permanent and can be reviewed later. By contrast, spoken communication is often spontaneous, more expressive, and relies heavily on tone, facial expressions, and body language. Each has its own strengths depending on the context.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you again. And now, as normal, let's take a look at some vocabulary that our friend used in her sample answers. Number 1. Gossip. This word is both a verb and a noun. In verb form, gossip means to talk about other people's private lives. For example, whenever they meet each other, they always gossip about their classmates. And when it is a noun, a gossip means a person who enjoys talking about others' private lives. For example, Anna is typically a gossip. Number 2. Light-hearted. Light-hearted is an adjective used to describe something that is casual, fun, and not serious. For example, it was a light-hearted conversation about pets. Number 3. Intrusive. If someone or something is intrusive, it annoys people around and makes them feel uncomfortable. For instance, my neighbor just installed an intrusive lighting system and it lights through my window every night. The interviewer always asks me intrusive questions about my private problems. Number 4. Peace and quiet. Peace and quiet is an English idiom and it acts as a noun in a sentence. It describes a state of relaxation and calm, a place without noise, disturbances, or distractions. For example, the elderly tend to live in the countryside in order to find some peace and quiet. Number 5. Pay off. It is the phrasal verb with the verb pay. If something you have done pays off, it means you are successful. For example, all her effort paid off at the end. Now she finally became a director. Number 6. Face to face. It usually acts as an adjective in the sentence and means directly meet someone in the same place. Sometimes it also means directly dealing with a negative situation, such as fear or hardship. For example, we will have a face-to-face meeting when the project ends. We were face-to-face with death during the fire. Number 7. Social isolation. This phrase is a condition in which An individual lacks connection and interaction with social networks, family, friends, and community. For instance, social isolation often appears in older people because they have less exposure to social networks. Number 8. Facial expression. This is a noun phrase that refers to muscle movements on people's face and different emotions such as smile, frown, or blink. Number 9. Body language. It is similar to facial expressions. Body language also uses body movements to express some specific information instead of speaking as usual. I hope that all the given structures and vocabulary could help you improve your English skills as well as lexical resource score in your exam. Don't hesitate to comment if you have any questions about the answers or anything about the IELTS exam. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to get the notification when we post a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you later.